Okay, we're live now. Well, good evening. I'm Carlos Millsap with Wealth Made Easy for you. Uh, Trying to keep cool on this nice, hot, sunny day in beautiful San Diego, California. How's the weather up there, Brad?
It's another firecracker up here today.
Yeah.
But who's going to complain? And if I do, nobody listens anyway. So you just
No,
grin
no,
and bear it and enjoy the sunshine. And hope you don't have to get out and work too hard in it physically anyway. But it's good day.
absolutely.
Good day.
It's a good day. Yeah, so it's now around 6:01, uh, right about 82 degrees. It's not too bad. So, as I wipe sweat off my forehead here, but I'm enjoying it. Well, I tell you what, tonight we decided to kind of have a leisure approach to what we're going to talk about. Last night we talked about college funding and the cost of it and you being able to prepare for it. We talked about using whole life insurance for your college planning, and today we actually even dug a little deeper and we looked at different methods and different concepts where you can actually fund your college through the whole life policy, start pulling the money out, and you can actually have more money when your child is done with college than if you just did student loans. So that's something that we'll be more than happy to talk more with you guys about. But we also start talk want to talk to you guys about just retirement. Just retirement. Right now I've seen the statistics many times where there's like 10,000 baby boomers turning 65 every day. That's a lot of people. And we also see in other statistics that show that the majority of those that are turning 65 aren't ready to retire. I was listening to a gentleman do a presentation, and he said that he's always wanted to, when he goes into Walmart and he sees a greeter that a person should have retired, he wants to ask them the question: Are they working because they want to, or are they working because they have to?
Yep.
And, that would be a tough question to ask somebody, but many times we find that there's many people that are working primarily because they have to. I talk to teachers, many teachers every day in regards to their pension plan, and as they get to approach retirement age, they're tired, they're burnt out. But guess what? Because they didn't make the necessary adjustments early enough in their career, they still have to work. And there's nothing like having to work and not really enjoying what you're wanting to do. You're working because you have to, not working because you want to, which is totally different. And so, did you know? Were you aware that you can actually um, use life insurance for to accumulate money for retirement? A lot of people are not aware of that, which brings me to um, Brett Kessler, this guy we talked about, Brent Kessler. He talks about Ted Benna, and myself and Brad has talked about Ted Benna. Ted Benna is is called the father of 401k, the father of 401k. And Brett was sharing with me. Brett, come on, sorry, Brad. I'm getting Brent, and Brad, all these BRs mixed up. I apologize for that, Brad. Um, Now, you were saying in regards to that he didn't want to have the 401k come out.
Well, the information that I received on that from my research and stuff was that he was assigned through a company an alternate way to be able to fund retirement. Again, flashback to the day when pensions were the norm. And for people who didn't have pensions then, they saved in their life insurance plans. Well, he answered the call. He went to work trying to find out what was out there. So he's literally diving through all the pages of the Internal Revenue Code, trying to find
Right.
something that would work. And he came to the 401k section and found this plan. He told the people who had hired him, here is something that might work. At the time, it was only being used by the extremely wealthy families.
Right. Right.
Nothing like what we know about today, because now it's commonplace. You know, it is the retirement plan of choice for most companies. Back then, it was not. So what happened was he found it. He suggested, here's what I found, but I don't recommend it for the general populace because it's really an overflow type setup the way it was originally written in the tax code for the very, very wealthy. When they filled up all the other slots of money that they had, they would go to the 401k section to be able to use that. Again,
Mhm.
there was no employee matching, or employer matching. There was none of that kind of stuff. It was just another place that the very wealthy, instead of leaving it in their savings account, could be able to take and park it in this 401k. Legal, totally legal. And but he says, I don't really recommend it. I don't see it working for the masses. And now you talk to somebody, hey, I've got a job interview. I'm going to be working for this company. Well, why do you want to work for them? Well, they do this, they pay this much, and they've got a great 401k plan, and they match, and they do this, and they do that. I get it. But that's the norm. That's the programming that we're now receiving from people who are job hunting or looking into the benefits packages that companies offer.
Right.
And again, the father of the 401k said, no,
Exactly.
it's not good for the masses.
Right. Exactly.
Matter of fact, he's been found that he's actually spoken out against it in recent times. So
Absolutely.
I don't know a lot of the details on that, but I know he's not a big advocate of it. So
No, he definitely isn't. And see, what people don't really understand is that the 401k was supposed to be a third leg of a three-legged stool. A person would have their pension when they retired, their Social Security, but they would have a gap. That 401k was designed to come in and to fill that gap. But the corporations found there's an opportunity to get rid of the pensions,
right.
which, has been overglorified. They really weren't that great. They would make people have to work longer in order to get the pension. And then sometimes they would even fire people or find a reason to get rid of them so they wouldn't have to pay a pension. So the pension system was really kind of shaky. But the thing is that the corporations found a way to allow that 401k to come, and they glorified it. Hey, you're going to get a great 401k. We got a great 401k plan. And so you went in thinking that was good, but it's not that great, because, if you really think about it, we always been taught, there's a saying, a stitch in time saves nine. So it always tell you to do stuff now versus do it later. So why would you put off paying taxes now and pay it later? You don't know what the tax rate's going to be. They make you think that you're saving taxes all this time for 30 years. You're putting it off because it's lowering your income, so you're paying less taxes. But if you put pen to paper, you will find out when you retire that all those 30 years of savings you pay back in less than 3 years.
Yep, absolutely.
3 years.
And something you and I always remember, and I really want to emphasize this to our listeners and viewers, the numbers don't lie.
Nope, they
The
don't.
numbers don't lie. In less than 3 years, all that savings is gone.
All of it's gone. Yep.
Not to
And
mention,
so,
based on past histories, how long will your 401k last at current burn rates, interest, inflation, fees,
yeah,
market
yeah,
risk, a lot of the things that we've talked about here on this show
yeah,
in the past.
yep,
It all
exactly.
chips away. And pretty soon
Yep,
you're 80, 75, 80 years old, and you're kind of going, whoa, wait. I've only got 9 months of money left at the current burn rate.
yep.
Not a place you want to be.
It's sad. Not a place you want to be. Sad. So what's interesting is sort of tongue in cheek. Ted Benna mentioned that everybody should put their money in a 501k, which is a kind of a gimmick name. But what he is saying is that it's that people should put their money into a whole life, a properly structured whole life policy, such as the infinite banking concept, because you get more benefits, versus putting your money. Here's the thing: the reason why the reason why all these everybody wants you to have your money into like a 401k is that you're not using the money, but guess what? They're using that money. So you need to put your money to something that you can use. And that's what the index universe, the whole life plan, putting your money into an infinite banking concept will allow you to actually have access to the money, to be able to use the money, to be able to keep your money in motion. Okay. And if God forbid, we don't really talk about the death benefit a lot, but God forbid if something were to happen to you and you were to pass on, then your family will the money will blossom into a death benefit for your family. So
Right.
there's even more benefits that actually come along with it. So you have to
I think
begin to think about.
I
Go ahead.
think
I'm
it's really
sorry.
important too to note there, Carlos, when you do that comparison um, of how the death benefit is there for somebody, your 401k, should you die, I mean, let's just take a worst case scenario. You take your withdrawals on your 401k for 12 months. Something happens tragically, an automobile accident, a heart attack, whatever, and your life is cut short in retirement. Your family or your beneficiaries, whoever you've named, will inherit that fund of money. But the one thing that people don't ever think about, they also inherit the taxes that come with it. And now, what is it? I think it's the CARE Act, if I'm not
Secure
mistaken.
Act. Huh? It's
Secure
Secure
Act.
Act.
Now it's set up that now they only have 10 years to take all the money and pay all the taxes, because Uncle Sam wants what's due him, and he wants it in 10 short years. So it
Yep.
places an extra burden on the people who have inherited your 401k. The only one that doesn't apply to is the spouse, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly.
If it goes to
That's
your
right.
children
So
or your children's children, any
yeah,
of those beyond the spouse, that 10-year thing, it has to be done and met. So,
exactly.
and I think one of the other things that is the definite comparison with life insurance is people need to understand, and you might not know this, folks, the death benefit that you would receive from a loved one who's passed is income tax free if it's been structured properly.
Absolutely.
Uncle Sam can't come to you with his hand out and ask for part of it. I lost my dad recently, received the death benefit from his life insurance. Uncle Sam didn't come knocking on my door saying, "Where's my part? Where's my share?"
Nope.
So understand that's another added benefit in the comparison of the two systems.
Absolutely. Yep. So, and if your beneficiary is going to inherit that tax qualified plan, 401k, IRA, whatever, and if they inherit the property, and let's say they're going to sell it because they have another house, or they, you have to realize that now, as Brad was mentioning, what you've done is you put a tax burden on them. So there's ways in which you can, avoid those tax burdens now. And so we're just here to just try to help you to understand the things that you can do. The 401k, it's good in the fact that it forces people to save, but there's better ways of doing it. Um, um, I always tell people that it's either pay me now or pay me more later. And that's pretty much what the whole 401k is based upon, is that you will end up paying more later.
Typically, a
So
whole lot more.
typically a whole lot more later.
You bet.
And so
You bet.
that's what we're trying to get you to avoid. Yep. So we once again we've gone through 3 days this week. We we enjoy spending time with you guys. We were looking forward to having you guys uh, reach out to us to ask any questions. If there's something that you want us to address on here, um, because right now you just don't want to contact us, please send us an email. And just tell us what the question is, and we will address the question on here. If you want to meet one on one, we don't have a problem with that. You can reach me. I'm Carlos at cemillsap@gmail.com. You got Brad at Brad Stewart USA at yahoo.com. And don't forget, you can go to our website, wealthmadeeasyforyou.com. Look forward to being able to, talk to you guys soon about uh, uh, anything to do with infinite banking. I'm Carlos Millsap. So once again, it was great talking to you this evening, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
I'm Brad Stewart. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend, you guys. Don't let the heat get you down, depending on where you live. And enjoy your weekend. We'll look forward to catching up with you again next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Absolutely. Have a
See you
great
soon.
weekend. Bye bye.
Bye bye.